At this time, a part of the lost elves of the people of Lenwe, after long wanderings, came up into Beleriand from the south. Their leader was Denethor, son of Lenwe, and he brought them to Assyrian, where 7 rivers flow, down from the mountains of Linden. These are the Green Elves. They had the friendship of Thingol. Welcome to Tales of Arda, where we discuss and explore Middle-earth. Today we come to you with the first battles of Beleriand. MacLeod was captured and imprisoned by the Valar. In this time there was peace in Beleriand. The elves and dwarves found friendship. The dwarves crossed over the arid Luin, or the Blue Mountains, and established the cities of Novgorod and Belegost. Thingol and his wife Melian enlisted the help of the dwarves to build Menegroth, where Thingol would later dwell. Melian knew that peace would not last, so she counseled Thingol to take up arms. The dwarves would fashion armor for the elves and for themselves. They were prepared for the return of Morgoth. After hearing rumors of King Thingol's mighty realm in Beleriand, Denethor, son of Lenwe, king of the Nandor elves, left Eriador and headed west. Thingol welcomed them, and they settled in Assyrian. After Morgoth had served 3 ages of imprisonment, he was released. Then he destroyed the 2 trees of Valinor, Laularin and Telperion, with the help of Ungoliant. And he fled into Middle-earth to rebuild his old fortress of Angband. Before the return of Noldor to Beleriand, Morgoth launched his attack on Beleriand. Morgoth perceived that he would take the mastery of the land fast and with ease. The orc numbers had been growing, and they were a mighty host. From Angband issued 2 great hosts. One went west between Sirion and Narog. The other turned east to Kellen and Gelion. The orcs passed silently into the hilllands. In West Beleriand, the orc host hurried throughout the land, and Thingol was cut off from Círdan at Eglarest. Círdan led a host of elves from the havens to intercept the orcs, but they were driven back. The Falas was besieged, and Thingol could not aid his kin. Meanwhile, in the east of Beleriand, King Thingol took the offensive, taking with him a host of Sindar from Menegroth and the forest of Rhegion. Thingol called upon Denethor, king of the Nandor, for aid. In reply, Denethor led a host of green elves from Assyrian. The orcs were assailed from both sides by the elves. A battle raged north of the Andrum. The orcs prevailed over Denethor and encircled him on Ammon Ereb. Denethor would perish here before Thingol could come to his aid. The lightly armed elves of Assyrian were no match for the ironclad and heavily armed orcs. When help arrived, the orcs were scattered, and few orcs that escaped later fell to the axes of the dwarfs of Mount Dolmed. The siege of the Falas was also lifted. Although the elves found victory, they had suffered heavy losses. After the death of Denethor, the Nandor did not take a new king and decided not to have a part in the war. Thingol withdrew his people to Noldoreth and Rhuidean to ensure their safety, and Melian, the wife of Thingol, used her power to encircle this dominion with an invisible wall of shadows and bewilderment, known as the Girdle of Melian. This land was later called Doriath, the Guarded Realm. No one without the permission of the king could enter Doriath, due to the Girdle of Melian. Thank you for watching today's video.